The House of Dead is not for the faint of heart. It stands as a monument to forgotten fears and lingering dread, a place where the brave dare not tread. It exists in the shadows, a realm where light barely penetrates and darkness holds sway. A place where the veil between reality and nightmare grows thin, where the boundaries of the known world blur into the unknown. The very air within its walls hums with an unsettling energy, a palpable tension that grips your heart and refuses to let go. Strange rules govern this house, whispered warnings echoing through its darkened halls, carried by the wind like ghostly murmurs. These rules hint at a lurking danger, a presence unseen that watches and waits, ever vigilant, ever patient. The house itself is a character, its silence broken by the creak of floorboards and the rustle of unseen things, as if it breathes and lives. Each room holds a secret, a whisper of forgotten tragedies, stories etched into the very fabric of the walls. There's a weight to the silence, a feeling of being observed that sends shivers down your spine, a constant reminder that you are never truly alone. The House of Dead is a place where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, where the mundane transforms into the terrifying, and every shadow hides a potential threat. It's a stark reminder that some doors are best left unopened, some secrets better left buried, for the truths they conceal are too terrible to comprehend. For within these walls, fear reigns supreme. It is a place where courage is tested, and the bravest souls find themselves questioning their sanity. The house is a keeper of stories, each page a testament to the horrors that have unfolded within its confines. And as the candlelight flickers, casting long shadows, you realize that in the House of Dead, the past is never truly gone. It lingers, waiting to ensnare the unwary. The telephone becomes an instrument of terror in the House of Dead, a seemingly innocuous device turned into a harbinger of dread. Its shrill ring cuts through the silence, piercing the stillness like a knife through flesh, a jarring reminder of the outside world that feels a million miles away, lost in the abyss of isolation. But these are not friendly calls, not voices offering comfort or connection. Instead, they are echoes of despair, voices from the void. These calls carry whispers of menace, threats veiled in static and distorted voices, each word dripping with malice. Ignore the calls, the house rules warn, a desperate plea etched in trembling handwriting. But the temptation to answer, to challenge the darkness, proves too strong to resist. Curiosity and fear intertwine, pulling you towards the receiver. The calls become more frequent, more insistent, each unanswered ring amplifying the tension, each pause between rings a moment of unbearable suspense. The silence between calls is almost worse, pregnant with anticipation and dread, a void filled with the promise of terror. The ringing phone becomes a symbol of encroaching fear, a constant reminder that something is wrong, that something sinister lurks just beyond the veil. It's a harbinger of the horrors to come, a chilling prelude to the nightmare that awaits within the House of Dead, where every ring is a step closer to the unknown. Just when you think the horrors of the House of Dead are confined to its physical space, a new layer of terror emerges. The walls of the house may be solid, but the fear it generates is fluid, seeping into the very fabric of our digital lives. A desperate plea for help, a cry from the digital void. It's a haunting echo that reverberates through the screens we so often take for granted, turning them into portals of dread. It's a chilling reminder that evil can seep into even the most modern aspects of our lives, twisting them into tools of torment. The devices we use daily, our lifelines to the world, become conduits for malevolence. The connection to TikTok, a platform usually associated with lighthearted entertainment, adds a layer of unsettling surrealism. The juxtaposition of joy and horror creates a dissonance that is deeply unsettling. It's a jarring juxtaposition, highlighting the vulnerability of our hyper-connected world. We are always online, always connected, yet this very connectivity makes us susceptible to new forms of terror. The line between the virtual and real blurs as the House of Dead reaches out from the shadows, its tendrils snaking into the digital realm. The boundary that once separated our physical and digital lives is now a thin, fragile veil.
Help me, please! I'm trapped! I can't get out! The voice is filled with desperation, a raw, unfiltered cry that pierces through the digital noise.
The plea for help, so close yet impossibly distant, heightens the sense of helplessness and isolation. It's a stark reminder of the limitations of our digital connections, where real emotions can be lost in the ether. It's a stark reminder that even in the age of instant communication, some cries for help go unanswered, lost in the digital ether. The digital abyss is vast and unfeeling, swallowing cries for help and leaving behind only echoes of despair.